What is going on, guys? Welcome to the series finale of Game of Thrones. I'm going to be showing a quick recap in terms of my reactions to the episode, and then right after that I'll be covering my thoughts on the episode, the series, this final season, all the above. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, bye.
Now and always. Will you lead the Seven Kingdoms to the best of your abilities from this day until your last day?
Why do you think I came all this way?
All hail Bran the Broken, first of his name, King of the Andals and the First Men, Lord of the Six Kingdoms, and Protector of the Realm.
Made many terrible mistakes. He's going to spend the rest of his life fixing them.
And we're back. So I didn't hate it. I actually like how the story was summed up. It was kind of predictable. I think I said this same thing like 3 episodes ago. I was like, as Dany was becoming the Mad Queen, I was like, well, she's probably going to die. And one of the theories I had was that Bran should, or it would make sense if Bran was put in charge, so I don't have an issue or a concern with the storytelling overall of Season 6, aside from Episode 4 and 5. Seemed like there was too much information packed into it. I liked the war overall for Season 6. I liked the war. I didn't mind Arya killing the Night King. I enjoyed this episode in terms of storytelling where everybody's stories ended up. So overall, I guess this episode was kind of a redeeming episode and nice closure on the series as a whole. I did have some criticisms, which I think most people did, about the pace at which they did this. I think if they had 8 episodes, it would have been close to perfect. I wish Dave and Dan would have taken an extra 2 episodes to develop the story after the war for Dany's downfall into becoming the Mad Queen, because that just would have made more sense. I think that was my only big criticism, was how quickly she descended into, a character that didn't follow the entire past 7 seasons of her, the way she acted. So I enjoyed the episode. Jon killing her was kind of predictable, but at this point, even though it said even though it was predictable, I still enjoyed it. He kills her. I'm not 100% sure why Drogon didn't kill him. Maybe just because he understood that he was a Targaryen. Drogon just knew to, burn down the throne. And then from there, we get a council, which seemed very smart. A council of people to choose the leader, and they chose Bran. I think that makes the most sense, so I'm cool with it. Bran is the most unemotional, aware, knowledgeable person in all the kingdoms. If at any moment he needs to make a decision to better the kingdom, all he has to do is literally just look at the past, look at past decisions of kings. If he's dealing with 2 different parties on certain issues, he literally knows everything that has happened or is happening. So I enjoyed it. It wasn't too bad. we move on to the endings, the closure for everybody. Arya is sailing off west just to explore. She has a crew of her own, it looks like. Sansa becomes Queen of the North. Jon becomes, I guess you could say, I don't know if I'd call him a leader. I think he would just assume that role of some sort of leader. But he just travels north beyond the wall to live with what used to be the wildlings. I don't know if that's what we call them anymore, but you know, he's traveling north just to start a life, I would guess. So, no, it was pretty good. I don't have any big criticisms. It was a bittersweet ending. So, like, I do. It is upsetting because I'm gonna miss this show. We are getting prequels. At first, I was kind of apprehensive, like, we're getting prequels, but it's not with the same people who are writing this, because if there was anything about Game of Thrones, I loved the writing of Game of Thrones in general. I loved it. And not saying I didn't this season. I know there's been a lot of criticisms about it towards Dave and Dan. And I think it was just because it was rushed again. I don't have so if this is where, like, George R.R. Martin writes the books, and this is where they go, I'm not overall upset. I kind of like how the story of A Song of Fire and Ice ended. Yeah, so all in all, I enjoyed it. I like, you know, the story's overall ending. I think it summed up pretty much everybody's storyline pretty well. I don't think it left anything unexplained. You know, Ghost got, you know, a good boy Pat and gets to go live with Jon, so I know people are going to be excited about that. Either way, guys, that's about it. I don't have too much in detail. I'm still I'm freshly reacting to just watching it. So it's a bittersweet thing. You know, this has been 10 years of my life watching this show. 10 years. That's nuts. That's like a whole portion of my life over watching this series. So I'm glad we get some prequels and some stuff to follow along with. And if you guys enjoyed the episode as well, you know, and this video, this reaction, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. You know, we'll be covering Game of Thrones when it comes back out. You know, there's gaming content on the channel. So either way, leave a comment down below what you thought. You know, if you had, you know, more criticisms than me, less than me, either way. And as always, I'll see you guys next video. Okay, bye.